wanna start a revolution.
So I ended up linking up with him. I would talk to him on the phone for hours. He'd just be working out and he would just tell me about the business, tell me about how WWE is and everything like that. And then eventually he was like, yo, he's like, I can put in a word to try to get you a tryout. And I'm like, absolutely, I would love that. And so I ended up getting a tryout June 2017. And this is the first time I had ever done anything pro wrestling at all in my life, other than me and my brother and my cousins kind of like playfully doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you know how people do it. Yeah. But I knew nothing about it. So it was my first time ever doing anything about it. So like I trained up really hard for that tryout. And even though I trained up really hard for that, there's like like Mojo told me, he's like, you can do as much conditioning as you want, but like you'll see in ring conditioning is completely different. And he was not joking. It is completely different. So yeah, I actually ended up doing really well that tryout. And it made it a little bit easier because this is just a lot of rolls and stuff like that. And I'm an athletic dude, you know, playing ball and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of rolls, but I've actually done martial arts my entire life. So I've known how to like roll and like fall and stuff like that beforehand. Yeah. But yeah, so like I ended up doing really well. They told me in an email. Excuse me. And they were just like, yeah, we you know, you did really well, but like we want you to go get training and experience, and then we'll bring you back for our tryout. I'm like, okay, cool, bet. Say less, you know, because like I mean, to be honest, I'm never handed anything. I've never been handed anything in my life. I've had to work for literally everything, even though I've seen people firsthand get handed stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, I've literally had to work for everything, man. I come from nothing, man. And so I was expecting that anyway. I wasn't expecting to be signed. So I was like, all right, well, here we go. Let's do this. And then someone ended up hit me up about you know, some podcast or, you know, some interview or whatever. And they were like, yeah, like, what do you think about MCW, you know, going to MCW, you know, and because I lived in Maryland at the time. Yeah. And they're like, what do you think about going to MCW and stuff? And I'm like, I would do it. Absolutely. You know, like, and I mean, I've heard really good things about MCW and stuff. So ended up going to MCW. Yeah. So I was I would say I was there for maybe a year, not even, but I ended up being trained by the three coaches there. Dean, who was really good at the fundamentals and like, you know, all that stuff. He's really good at, you know, storytelling and stuff too. RJ, also known as Bruiser, and he just passed away, you know, not too long ago. And he helped me out so much. He like really pushed me, you know, to my limits and stuff. But I'm so glad that he did that. You know, I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. Also a great coach. And then the third coach was Joey Mercury, and which I'm sure people know who Joey Mercury is. And that dude really, really changed how I think about wrestling. So he's one of the dudes that really helped me really change how I think about wrestling and stuff. He is extremely intelligent when it comes to wrestling and wrestling psychology and like just everything. Like, I mean, he's so good at this. I don't know if people know that he's produced a lot of matches at WrestleMania. So like, yeah, man, I've learned so much from him. And then also the person that's been helping me, I've only been wrestling for 4.5 years, but the person that's been helping me since the beginning, and most people probably don't even know this, is Velveteen Dream. That dude is amazing, and I don't care what nobody says about him. That dude is amazing. Yeah. Like he helped me separate myself from the others, you know, where like just helped me think differently about every aspect of this, and just like you can see it in his work and everything. And he really helped me with like, you know, character development, you know, having charisma and doing your promo. He really got on me about the promos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he helped me so much to help separate me from everything, because like he's like, you got to be different, you got to separate yourself, you can't be like everybody else. Not that there's anything wrong with what people do. I just the way I see it, I see the way he sees it and everything. Most people do the same things and look the same, and it's just there's not enough. I feel like there's not enough individuality in wrestling. I mean, how many people do you see? And like I said, there's nothing. If this is what you want to do, is what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, from this is my perspective, my opinion. Most, like, how many people do you see wearing black trunks, black kick pads, come out with a black jacket and stuff like that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of the girls wear a lot of the same stuff, and it's like, where's the individuality at? So like that's where I want to separate myself. How I dress, how I act, how I walk, how I talk. Just like every single aspect of it, I focused on. And I didn't have to really focus on the wrestling, because Velveteen used to tell me, he's like, you don't gotta worry about the wrestling, bro. You're gonna get good at the wrestling. And which I did. You're gonna get good at the wrestling. Focus on the other stuff, because the other stuff is what's important, what's really important.
Yeah.
And the best wrestlers don't make the most money. I can wrestle. I can wrestle with anybody. If you want to do amateur, I've done martial arts my whole life. I've done wrestling before. I can wrestle with anybody. I'm telling you right now, I can wrestle with anybody. But that's not the way I look at this. This is entertainment to me. And like I said, the best wrestlers don't make the most money. So that's why I look at it that way and stuff. Yeah.
No, I completely. Listen. It's always great to hear those backstories and to hear all that stuff. And speaking of the character, you eventually get signed by WWE, and you're doing some things here and there. I think you were on Raw at some point for a little while. You did like the things with, like, stuff with Braun, NXT 205 Live. They switched up your character a little bit, because I think you were like Elijah before, correct? Is that what it was?
So no, my character, I wouldn't. They didn't switch anything up. There's a line that I said in one of my promos on 205 Live, I think, and it's like, WWE didn't make me this way. They found me like this. Like, this is all me. This is all me. Like, nobody has ever told me that, oh, we want you to do this. Like, no. I came in. I told this on another podcast. I got signed August 19th, 2019, or August 14th, 2019. And within that first week, I had a PC Live match. I was in the main event in the PC Live match. And like I said, there was like the crowd there wasn't like your fans. It was all the peers. Like I said, Bianca was there, Street Profits, everybody you see on TV, like War Raiders, like literally the guys you see on TV, they were all in the crowd. And so I've said this story already, but this is the first time all of them are ever seeing me perform. So they know nothing about me. So I was like, how do I get them? How do I show them who I am? And so I made my entrance, and I was going down the ramp, and I didn't have it planned, but I was just like, man, I got to do something as I'm going down the ramp. And then I walked down the ramp, go to my left around the ring, and then to my left in the stands, I see Vanessa, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. So I kind of like slightly walk by her, and then I like do an about face, and I turn towards her, and I'm like, take my hand. So she goes to take my hand, and as she takes my hand, everybody's like, oh, like literally everybody was like, oh, and so like I pulled her hand in, and I went to go kiss it, and then I blew it back in her face, and I was like, stop playing with me or whatever. And they popped, and like Vanessa got hot. She got hot. Like they popped super big for that. And then I just continue with my entrance, and I'm like, yeah, this is like, I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with me. Like I knew like who I was as a character going into the WWE. Yeah. I kind of wish that they saw that a little quicker, but like I knew what I was doing before when I came in, and I only had been wrestling for 2 years at that time, and you know, a lot of people say like, oh, I've been around a lot of people like I've been wrestling 15 years and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter if it's, you know, you could have 15 years wrestling, but if it's all like not good, you know what I'm saying? It's 15 years of not good wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't been wrestling for 2 years, but I've been wrestling 2 years of quality wrestling. It's quality over quantity, you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been trained by the three best people to be trained by. And then also, you know, having Velveteen in my ear. And then now I'm in the PC and he's helping me even more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, like I knew what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I don't even know what the question was, man. I don't remember. I was just going back, man.
Yeah. So so you're in the PC, you're doing stuff, you know, you're learning from Velveteen, you're doing your matches. Then you end up connecting with Briana and AJ. How did you guys connect, and how did you guys establish that, you know, we're gonna be the Hitmakers?
So it's a small world, man. AJ I knew before wrestling. I actually had caught up with him. I was at one of the takeovers before I got signed in Brooklyn, and Velveteen had brought me backstage and stuff to see how, because he knew I was getting signed and stuff, so he like brought me backstage to see like, you know, how things were run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is actually where he had those call me up Vince pants, that pay-per-view, that takeover. Yeah. So
Brilliant.
but that day, actually, when I was leaving, I had saw AJ. I forgot where I first met AJ, but it was definitely before wrestling. And then I saw AJ as I was leaving. I was like, "Yo, AJ," and whatever, and we like linked up and stuff. But then again, I didn't see him again until he got to WWE. But as far as Briana, Briana actually was in my first tryout. So that one I had in June 2017, Briana was in that.
Yeah.
And then me and Briana actually got signed the same day, August 14th, 2019.
Wow.
And then we were in the same class. And then we ended up being a hit row. Also, if people don't know, me and Briana are literally like twins. We're literally like twins. Like she's born the day before me. Also, I wanna put this out there because I be seeing my birthday. People have my birthday wrong on social media or whatever on the internet, and people say I'm 21 years old. I'm not 21 years old. Yeah, I was in the military. I was 21 years old, man.
I was in the military, 8 years old.
Yeah. So Briana was born November 22nd, 1990. I was born November 23rd, 1990.
Wow.
So yeah. So we're a day apart, and we're literally like twins. Like how we think, how we act, just like everything. We always like accidentally bumping into each other. It's like just like a twin thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, I can't really explain it. It just is, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, one day I was doing my singles stuff, you know, I had always pictured me doing a singles thing, but I was also doing stuff with, anybody remembers Alexander. But so I was mostly doing my single stuff though. And then one day, I think it was AJ, he was just like, he's like, "Yo, what do you think about doing this group? You know, like me, you, and Briana, you know what I'm saying, called the HitMakerz and stuff." And he explained it to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, I mean, I'm an open person. So at first I was like, I don't know, because I was like, everybody always like wants to do their singles thing, you know?
Yeah.
But then once I realized like, oh, like this is gonna be good. Like nobody's doing this. You know what I'm saying? So like we ended up like just doing a bunch of stuff together, and then we ended up forming the HitMakerz like February, March 2020, right before COVID or something like that.
Yeah.
And when they were still doing stuff at Full Sail with crowds and everything. And so we had already made like 5 vignettes and a music video that we all did ourselves.
Yeah.
And one day after, you know, TV, we waited for Triple H, you know, because he's a very busy dude. So we waited for him before he left and stuff. And we were like, hey, like we would like for you to check this out, we got this group and stuff like that. So we showed him like everything, and he was like, oh, this is really good. But so we ended up just doing the HitMakerz for like a year, unfortunately. I wish things would have been quicker. I wish people would have seen our worth a lot quicker. But we didn't end up debuting till like May of 2021, and originally Swerve was not in the group. Swerve was doing his own thing, and before they wanted to use us, Triple H asked if we were cool with Swerve joining the group, but he asked Swerve if he was cool joining us and stuff like that, and we were all for it. Swerve is a musician. He makes music as well and stuff, and he's incredibly talented in the ring. We're like, absolutely. But yeah, so like, to be honest, I don't think they really trusted us as a group, the three of us as a group, for whatever reason. I don't know, because you can watch all the PC Live matches and all the promos. You can watch all that stuff, and to show you that we're nice with this, like we're not playing around, like for real. Like the first year AJ was in, we were doing this promo challenge thing, and it was literally with everybody in the PC. Everybody. It's like over 100 people. I'm talking about everybody, even the people that were on TV. Yeah. And let me tell you, AJ actually won the promo competition out of everybody, and like he is really good at promos. Let me tell you, like all of us are good at promos, but he is like really good at promos. And me and Briana ended up being and Briana and AJ ended up being in the final four. Let me tell you that. Yeah, that's a lot. So just saying, we've been nice with the promos. But I wish that things would have happened a little sooner, but everything happens for a reason. The timing is what it is. Yeah. Sorry, my camera keeps moving. No, you're good. Weird. This iPad is just, yeah. But I don't think they trusted it as at first, for whatever reason. I don't know. They put some people right on TV, without even testing them. But for us, for some reason, you want to spend a year to see if we got it, and we've been proving it to you every single week. I don't get it. But that's what I'm saying. I've never got anything handed to me. I've had to work for everything. I've watched people literally just come in and get handed stuff. So I'm not saying no names. I'm not talking about just wrestling. I'm talking about football too. Yeah. And the military. Like literally just, yeah. It's just, it is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is. So they were coming up with some new show called NXT Evolve or something like that. And they were like, yeah, we're going to put you guys on, 3 of us on NXT Evolve. And then we'll have you guys with Swerve on NXT, stuff like that. And then they wanted us to be like Swerve's, like, posses or something like that. And then we're like, nah, like, yo, like we're all equals. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if they really trusted it at first, but eventually they did. And that's when we did that first promo. We were wearing all red. And we literally showed them, like, look, like, we've been ready for this. Like, I really don't think people know, or I don't even think that they knew at the time how prepared we were. We literally had a year. We've been doing it over a year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think they understood how prepared we were. I'm going to show you. I showed this on another podcast. Look at this. I'm going to show you real quick on my phone. All right. So, my phone's acting slow. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. All right, here we go. So the camera keeps moving, is all my promo lines. Wow. Right? It keeps moving, but I can keep going. You see what I'm saying? Wow. Keep going. These are all my promo lines. Yeah. And I literally still write stuff down to this day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For promos. And the thing is, all 4 of us did that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why, like, we were so prepared. Like, not only were we really good in the ring, but we could promo. We had character. We had charisma. We had everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why the decision was so hard. But once they made the decision and gave us the time to do that first promo, it was basically what's it called? We were on a train with no brakes. You know what I'm saying? Like we were just going. You know what I'm saying? Like so, yeah, it just couldn't be stopped. You know, and I don't think they expected. I'm not sure. This is just all my speculation. You know, I don't know, but I don't think they expected us to do that well, and especially with like the cipher we did. Say again. Amazing stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The cipher, I'm not sure. Like I don't know. Like we asked to do it because ciphers are not live. We asked to do it, pre-taped and stuff, but they want to do it live. So like, okay, we can do it live. Maybe they were testing us. I don't know. Yeah. But we literally did it. No mess ups, because we prepared so much for that. I don't think like the stuff people don't even know how much behind the scenes that we did as a group. Like we would be at AJ's house for hours, like until like 3-4 in the morning, preparing stuff. When we got drafted to SmackDown, they called us and was like, yeah, like we want you guys to write up 5 promos, because like we literally did. Nobody wrote our promos ever, not on NXT or SmackDown. That's literally true. Nobody ever wrote our promos ever. We all wrote them ourselves. So they were like, yeah, we got drafted to SmackDown. Like, yeah, we want you to do promos for against the Usos, the New Day, Street Profits, War Raiders, and some other team. I can't remember. There was like 5 different tag teams they wanted us to do promos on. Yeah. So we literally got to AJ's house, like, I don't know, 11 p.m. And we wrote and recorded all 5 promos in 2 hours and sent it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like we prepared, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't think they're ready for that, I really don't know. I'm just saying, just as I can only speak from my perspective, I really don't know. But I don't know if they're prepared for all that. Like we were just like we made our own music. Like the song we made that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The new song that we debuted, a couple weeks ago, we made that, Yep. We can do everything. We can make music videos. We can make our own videos, our own vignettes. We can do all this stuff. And maybe that's just not what is done in WWE by anybody but us. And maybe I don't know, man. And, maybe they were intimidated by that. I don't know though. I really don't know. Don't take my word for it. I really don't know. I'm just I don't have any answers, man, because I just like it's all I don't know.
You would think that's what they want. They want that like initiative, for you to really come up with these characters, but also like make them like as real as they can be, and just be prepared across the board. I mean, prepared for anything, ready for a call. Hey, we need you here, or we need you there. You got stuff. You're ready for it. I mean, I don't think that's everybody's mindset, so it's definitely a bonus. And I had Briana on a few weeks ago, and we talked about the work ethic and things like that. And she mentioned the same thing, like, on top of having such a great work ethic, all of you individually, there was nobody there that was really like on the same level in the sense of, 1, the creativity, but 2, the way that you guys handled it and presented everything. I mean, it was the full package across the board. So absolutely. Yeah.
I would believe so as well.
Yeah. And, having Triple H be so, I guess, instrumental in a sense, was he the one? I think Briana told me that he was the one who changed the name to Hit Row. Was that he came up with that?
Probably. It was the HitMakerz at first. Yeah. But then I think the HitMakerz is actually copyrighted. Got it. By another group, so we couldn't use that. But the HitMakerz name we have now is spelled differently. So, but so yeah, they were like, yeah, like Death Row. So like you were like, oh yeah, like Hit Row. So like, okay, cool. And then we came up with a bunch of designs and stuff, and a bunch of T-shirts. So let me tell you, like it's wild because like our t-shirts were sold out. Like they had to keep making new t-shirts and making like, just like restocking, because like our t-shirts, like legit. I said another podcast, like we all get the same paperwork and we see the numbers. Like we made them a lot of money in the 6 months that we were on TV. Like, we made them a lot of money, our revenue, our merch and all that stuff. Yeah, it's wild. Like we were selling out like everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild, man. But yeah, I don't. It is what it is.
Yeah, having Triple H be so instrumental in NXT, and obviously him just recently retiring. What are your thoughts on how his importance to NXT and WWE as a whole? I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean he's the one that started that, man. NXT was hot because of him.
Yeah.
Like he like was a huge impact on why NXT is what it is now, even though they've changed it and everything, but like it wouldn't be the same without Triple H and what he's done with it, So he created something incredible. So it's just a different another brand, another platform, another television show of wrestling that brought something different than what the other two shows were showing.
Yeah.
So
agreed. And I've said so many times that Hit Row, and I even told Brianna this, Hit Row was so unique because there was not one, star of the group. It was everyone had their own presentation, but you didn't know who the leader was because there was none. It was a real faction, a real group. If you can explain kind of the dynamic of everyone's role in the group. So
yeah, there was no leader of the group, even though people like to assume, and that's just assumptions, that Swerve was the leader. But Swerve, when we were in NXT, Swerve was the focal point of NXT because he was going after he was the NXT North American champion.
Yeah.
So he was like the focal point here with the story with Santos and everything. So he was more of like the singles like focal point at that point. And me and AJ were the tag team. But when we got to SmackDown, they told us that they wanted me and Swerve to be the tag team. And for AJ, they wanted AJ to be the singles competitor because AJ's a big dude, which is cool. Like we can do anything. Seriously, if they need me to be a singles competitor, we can all do it. Whatever they needed us to do. As far as like the if there is no leader, but if there was to be a leader, and all four of us talked about it, if there was to be a leader, it'd be Brianna, hands down.
Of course.
Like yeah, like I don't think like no people. I'm not gonna say this because people know Brianna's hot topic. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like she's the core of the group. If it wasn't for Brianna, we'd just be another group with three dudes.
Yeah.
But now we're a group of three dudes with a hot chick.
Yeah.
But a bad chick. You know what I'm saying? And Brianna is the core of the group. She's eye candy. You know what I'm saying? AJ would probably say me and her eye candy, but like we bring like different bring in different eyes, I guess, but yeah, so my part, like I'm the pretty boy, I'm the producer, like Pharrell, or something like that. Yeah. I'm the pretty boy producer. I'm also the hothead of the group. So like you would see in some of the matches where like AJ or like they have to calm me down or I'm snapping on somebody, you know what I'm saying? that was like the dynamic of like our group, like with me and everything. So I brought that element to the group and everything. Also with my style and fashion, I just had a different style and fashion and stuff. I really don't care what I like. I'll wear anything. Like I won't wear anything, but like you won't ever see me in trunks. I'll tell you right now. But just I brought like a different style. That's the cool thing about all four of us. We were four different individuals. I remember I was talking about individuality earlier. 4 different individuals who meshed really well together. So like that was my dynamic. Swerve is like the ring leader. Like, even though AJ would sometimes say I'm the ring general, and Swerve might actually know Swerve would say that too. Swerve is really good in the ring. I always say me as the ring general because people may not even know I'm actually really good in the ring as well. I'm not trying to like put myself over like that, but I actually am. Yeah. Like I can call a whole 20-25 minute match on the fly right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is easy to me. This is easy. So, but Swerve is like he's the vet. You know what I'm saying? He's the experienced one. This dude is so innovative and creative when it comes to anything in the ring. Like, I've seen him do things I'm like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
You know? So Swerve, and he also does more of the flippy stuff, which I'm not really. I could do it and I can do it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's not that. It's just not that's not my style. But Swerve brings a different dynamic when it comes to that. So you got like a hot head and you got a guy that can do the flips and do all the really cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then you got AJ, who's the big dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, AJ's the enforcer. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go through him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're all athletic, like we're super athletic. AJ's the enforcer. Like, you got to go through him. You got a problem? Okay, AJ, step up in front. What's up? Like, yeah. You know, like, you got a problem now though? Okay. You know, but yeah. So AJ's the enforcer, and AJ can back it up because AJ, that dude can talk. Let me tell you. I mean, he wasn't the host of a TV show for no reason. That dude can talk. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and then you got Briana, and like I said, Briana's the core. Briana is what was the line we said? The dime that makes the deals, like, for real. Like,
yeah.
We were just at WrestleCon in Dallas, and we literally told Briana, we were like, look, you gotta sit in front of the table because people are just gonna walk by and be like, yo, who is that? And literally that is what happened.
Yep.
Briana is bad. Especially with the boots and the white hair. Yes. Yeah. People walking by like, yo, who is I just want a picture. Like, I just want to come to the table just because of her. And cool. You know,
and no one is doing that. No one is doing that at all.
Yeah.
There's no one like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Briana could talk too. Like, people don't even understand. Like Briana got bars. Like, for real. It's wild. And we all just bring, when it comes to the promos and stuff, we all bring a different feel and a different flow when it comes to our promoing and stuff like that. And we know how to present it and mesh it together and stuff. So, which is really different, you know? Yeah.
And you obviously a part of, the black and gold version of NXT and also NXT 2.0. Hit Row in general were a part of both. What do you think was the major difference between the two, the original and the rebranding?
I mean, obviously they're putting on newer people, on the 2.0 stuff, which is actually refreshing, because I remember being at NXT and watching NXT before I was signed and stuff like that, and it was a lot of the same things and a lot of the same people every week for a long time. But it's good to see, like, because there's a lot of people in the PC. Yeah. There's a lot of people who are ready to be on TV, and a lot of people that were just sitting there. And I'm glad to see that they're actually being put out there and shown that they can do this. So I think that's the biggest difference, is just the use of more people on 2.0 and stuff.
Yeah.
I also like the vibe better too.
Yeah, definitely a different vibe that we're seeing on at least as a fan's perspective, seeing it on TV. Definitely different. Yeah. But the draft comes along. Hit Row becomes the most exciting and shocking draft pick in the entire draft. I mean, I think fans expected it in a sense, but they didn't expect it. At least I didn't fully. I was hearing rumblings that Hit Row was coming up, but it's not until you see the graphic and you hear it called, you're like, oh man, like it's finally happening. And I remember hearing the story from Briana how you guys were there and you didn't know until someone was like, hey, welcome to the team. In your perspective, what was it like finding out that you guys were getting drafted to SmackDown?
Yeah, so it's pretty much what she said. Like I would say the weeks leading up to it, we kind of had an idea. Not that anybody really came out and said it. We kind of had an idea. We were like, okay, this is the idea. We're gonna go to Raw or SmackDown, and we were trying to like gauge, like, okay, like where do they need more of a faction? Where do they need more of a trio? Where do they need more of a tag team and stuff? So we were thinking SmackDown, but you never know. But the day of, we're just in the back. I remember we just got finished taking pictures, and then I remember, we just got finished taking pictures, and then Becky Lynch came in after, and she was like, "Man, y'all look good." Thanks. Oops, sorry. Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, y'all look good and stuff." But then we had walked out of taking pictures, and like, I think one of the Fox producers was like sitting there. He's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I want to say, welcome to the team. We're glad to have you on SmackDown." It was like, whoa, we didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like that was the first time that we were like, oh, okay, so we definitely get drafted in SmackDown. Okay, but this is right before the show started and stuff, and then they had told us that I don't even think he knew if he was supposed to tell us or not, but he told us. He was like, okay, cool. So now it's just waiting for it to actually happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely got told before, like right before, and I don't think anybody did. I don't think anybody knew if they were getting drafted or not, and where. I think it was just kind of a secret thing, but we got told beforehand, maybe by accident. So,
seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys get called up. And the short time that Hit Row was on SmackDown, you guys did some promos. I think there was a match or two, if that. But was there any doubts in your mind? Because we've seen, factions come up from NXT before. For example, you have Sanity come up from NXT, and they kind of dismember the group a little bit. They change the dynamic, and then they end up getting released. Did you have any doubts seeing that you guys weren't getting the same amount of time that you guys were in NXT for that short time on SmackDown?
No. The whole time we were on SmackDown, I remember hearing it multiple times from Vince McMahon and multiple times from Paul Heyman being like, we're going to make a lot of money with you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun with you guys. And that was multiple times that they both said that. So, yeah, like, and I remember Vince saying like the goal is to get you over right now. Like it wasn't like a storyline or anything. It's just to get us over and stuff, which we were going to do anyway because our promo was always good. But yeah, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, just coming to SmackDown and seeing history of other factions kind of come up and then kind of just lose the momentum and get released or moved around here and there. Any doubts that was going to happen?
Nah, no doubts at all. Because I probably said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. Nobody can do what we can do.
Of course,
that's
100%.
Nobody can do what we can do. Hands down, we are one of one. We're the formula.
Yep.
Nobody can do what we can do. I'm telling you. You get anybody anywhere to do a cipher on TV, let me know.
Yeah.
Live on TV, let me know.
Has it been done before? I mean, I haven't seen it happen before in WWE. So
yeah, there's nobody that can do what we can do. We have a element about us that's just different, and we just bring something different. We bring a whole different audience to the table. We bring like this new generation to the of audience.
Yep.
To the table and to watching and stuff like that. Like I honestly, before this weekend at WrestleCon, I really didn't know how much people loved us. I mean, because like you read stuff on social media, cool, like it's good and bad stuff, whatever. But those are just, they always say those are just the vocal fans. Most of them are not. And this weekend really opened my eyes to show me how popular we are and how much people love us. Like we got so much love.
Yeah.
At WrestleCon and GCW and all the different places that we were. So much love, and it's just like, wow, like people really do like us, and people really are upset that we got released. And I don't think there was one person that came up to us and didn't talk about how upset they were about us getting released. I don't think there was one person. And it's just like, yeah, the biggest shock. I mean, it was a shock to us too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to ask this question or if anybody's wondering. I've said it a bunch of times. I and all of us, we only know as much as y'all about the release. We don't know anything else. We were told whatever budget cuts. That's all we know. That's all I was told. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks that they don't give you any more, information other than that, because like even when I spoke to Briana, I said that there's no faction, no group, not one person in WWE, NXT in general, that is like anybody from Hit Row. I mean, the presentation, the work ethic, the in-ring capabilities, the whole package, there's nothing like it. I mean, if you look at the draft, there was champions drafted, other superstars making big jumps from Raw to SmackDown, vice versa. But when Hit Row was called up, being drafted to SmackDown, that was the moment that everyone went crazy. That was the moment of the draft. And then not even months.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Fans, I remember being on social media, covering the draft live, and like writing on Twitter, everything that's happening. And Hit Row gets drafted and Twitter exploded, man. Like crazy. Like, well, that's good to hear. Becky Lynch is going to Raw and Charlotte's going to SmackDown, but Hit Row is coming from NXT. And I think that it was just because everybody got so excited from what they got. It was like a tease of what you guys gave in NXT, because you guys were superstars. Everyone knew that you guys were coming up to somewhere. So it was like a tease in NXT, and then you get the real full thing on Raw or SmackDown. So when we saw that, it was like, man, game on now, because like this is going to be fun.
Yeah. I can tell you that we didn't even scratch the surface. I'm telling you right now.
And I think
like I said,
that too.
Huh?
Everybody, I think, knows that too. The fans know that.
Because like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, we only feuded with Legado on NXT. So like, can you imagine? Like, can you imagine Hit Row versus what's it called? The Street Profits. Like, can you imagine like Hit Row versus the New Day 3-on-3? You know what I'm saying?
Usos, any team.
Usos and Roman. You know what I'm saying? Like any of those. Like even like if you want to do regular tag teams, like all three of us can tag team. We can switch it out. It could be Swerve and AJ. It could be me and Swerve. It could be me and AJ. You could do us versus any tag team. We could do single stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can do it all. Yeah. And we can, I say it again, and we can promo. So yeah, it was just there was endless possibilities, but that doesn't mean that the door is not still open. You never know what might happen. Look, Cody just came back. Of
course.
And they bring a lot of people back. Zelina Vega, for example. You never know what'll happen. We just gotta be open and stay focused and keep grinding, and that's what we're gonna do. And that's all we know how to do.
Exactly. Now, first off, before I ask this question, when Briana got released, because she said it was kind of a shock to her, and everything, I could assume it was a shock to you guys as well. What did you guys think, or feel hearing that she was released?
Anger, disappointment, frustration, all the above. Because like I said before, Briana is the core, and we literally told them that.
Yeah.
Briana is the core. Briana is what makes this group different. than any other group, because yes, our group is different than any other group, even without Briana.
Yeah.
But to a fan that might not, you know what I'm saying, like, we just might look like the New Day now. You know what I'm saying? But like, but with Briana brings a whole different dynamic and to the group. It's wild. Like, she's literally she's it.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, a little while after that, you, AJ, and Swerve hear that you guys are released. I mean, first, what was the first thought in your mind? Like, how do you, because obviously it's not, you don't expect it.
Yeah, so that was November 18th. It was actually a couple days before my birthday. And it was on a Thursday. I remember watching Thursday Night Football. And I remember missing a call from John Laurinaitis. And so I had left the room and just went to go call him back. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Yeah, sorry, I got some bad news. We're gonna release you from your contract, and you know, something about 90-day no compete clause." And I was just like, "Okay, thank you." And that's literally all I said.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean, I would say for maybe 30 minutes, I was like shocked, disappointed, you know, upset, you know, a little lost.
Yeah.
Trying to reflect on, like, did I do something wrong? But after about 30 minutes, I was like, all right, this is the reality of it. And I was just like, all right, how do I make money?
Yeah.
It's literally what my mind went to. I was like, all right, it is what it is. My life has not been easy.
The grind.
It's not, yeah, it's not been easy. I haven't, like I said, man, I have not been handed anything. And, you know, I feel like I've done so many things. I'm good at a lot of things, but I feel like nothing has really worked out the way I wanted it to yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't complain. I got to be in WWE. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to be in WWE.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful and thankful for that. There's still a lot of things that I will love to accomplish, and I've done, you know, especially with them just going back to crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
I was extremely, like, I've always wanted to do it my entire life, man. Like, I've always wanted to, I love traveling and stuff. I was always look forward to the traveling to a different city every week and stuff. I look forward to that so much.
Yeah.
Only got to do it for like a little bit, but yeah, there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember.
They'll come to. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you kind of spoke about how, you know, with Cody coming back, there's always, the door is always open. That forbidden door, in a sense, kind of swings both ways. Would you be open to returning to WWE if, you know, obviously it works for you and the opportunity makes sense?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, I think about it. I think about it just about every day, man.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I lost a little motivation, just a little bit. After that. Oh, I also want to say, this is what I remember what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
That was a really bad weekend for me because not only was my birthday coming up in a couple of days after I got released, but also my one of my friends died that weekend too.
Oh,
like the next day. So it wasn't a good weekend.
Wow. I hear that.
Yeah, I had a pretty bad weekend. So and I don't really celebrate my birthday. So it's just another day. It's just another day, another dollar. That's why I see it. It's another day to get some work done. Yeah. I'm sorry. Say the question again.
Yeah.
I'll be going off.
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's fine, man. No, we were talking about how if WWE were to offer an opportunity to come back, that you would be open to that.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%, man. I that's like I said, it's one of my dreams, one of my dream jobs. I got to do it for a little bit. I definitely don't feel like I got to do everything that I wanted to. I mean, nobody's even really got to see my single stuff that I have planned. You know, if that would happen one day, I don't know where my life's going to take me. But I would absolutely love to. I'm sure AJ and Briana would as well. I know they would because I'm around them a lot.
Yeah. That's what Briana told me. She told me the same thing.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Like seriously, like, it's the best place to be. You know, it's my dream job. You know, I feel like I still feel like I'm really really good at it. I know I'm really good at it. At all the aspects of pro wrestling,
yeah,
and entertainment. So yeah, absolutely, man. I would love to, but that is not a decision that is up to me. So.
Obviously, Swerve is now in AEW. Have any other companies like tried to reach out to you, to say, hey, we want to bring you in outside of WWE?
I'm gonna leave that alone for now.
Got it.
I don't know what to say about that yet.
Got it.
I'll just say when you'll know when you know.
That's a good enough answer that I can ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of my interviews, I like to ask, the interviewees what you'd like to be your legacy to be, what you like to be remembered for. But in this case, what's next for Tehuti Miles? If you can tell us anything.
Yeah. So like I said, after I got released, I'm like, how do I make money? Well, I mean, clearly we're still doing the HitMakerz with the three of us. We'll still be wrestling and stuff like that, appearances and everything like that. All three of us love wrestling and love this business. So we're still gonna be doing that. I know that the two of them, all three of us do our own things individually too. So like I just started getting into some business stuff, taking a master class and stuff right now. Just constantly learning and just trying to learn as much as I can, because the more I learn, the more I know, the more opportunities for money to be made. So I'm also getting into acting. I just took 5 acting classes in Atlanta, and I took one in LA. I'm getting into that stuff. I actually just did an audition yesterday for something.
Awesome.
But yeah, so like hopefully the acting will be, the next step will be nice, but if like WWE was like, hey, we want you guys back, and I'll put off the acting for a little bit.
Make an exception. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, I'm gonna get into this acting stuff. So
yeah. And for all the fans listening and watching, where can they follow you? Where can they go find you and stay up to date and see what you do next?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's at Tehuti Miles. That's at TEHUTIMILES. It's just my first and last name. Please don't add me on Facebook because I'm not going to accept you. And I barely go on Facebook. I go on like once a month. For real. Yeah. But yeah, you can find me on those 3. If you have any questions, just message me. I kind of look at my messages every now and then. So.
Got it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been an honor to chat with you and have this time and learning so much about you. It's been fascinating because we really didn't get to experience or to learn of your story in WWE. But like we've been talking about, I know you're not even scratching the surface yet and of what you're able to do. And even as a group, what you guys are able to do, because your work ethic it's impeccable along with Briana and AJ and even Swerve. So I'm just very excited to see what you do next. And I think all the fans are ready to see it too. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm ready to see what happens,
Yeah.
Who knows where this world's going to take me,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you keep grinding. So, something's going to happen for you and it's going to be exciting. I know that for sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure, and we'll stay in touch, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
And before you go, please like, subscribe, and check out more wrestling content right here on the Angle Podcast.